Hi guys, so today I want to talk about, I guess, a little bit more of a serious topic, but not anything that I'm not going to cry, I promise, in this video, but I just kind of wanted to talk and touch base with you guys on grief. I think the last video that I made concerning my dad was right after he passed away. I have a video up from the day after I found out that he had passed away. I have a video maybe a couple days after his funeral. And then I have a video from Christmas where I was trying to get in touch with the psychic twins to help me talk to my dad. And so every video that I've made concerning my dad has been really emotional, and it was really, the feelings were just really, really new. And until you lose a parent, I think it's really hard to gauge or imagine like what that feels like. It's something unlike I've ever felt before, and a feeling I would not wish on my worst enemy, but it's something that we are all going to go through. Life is just weird like that. There are these horrible things that all of us are going to eventually have to go through. And I guess was inspired to make this video, one, because so many people have been asking how I'm doing this year, since it did mark 1 year since my dad kind of unexpectedly passed away. And also my dear friend on YouTube, Loie, and I will leave her channel link in the description. Her father just passed away, I believe maybe a week ago, if that. It might not even be a week yet, but when I saw her posting on Twitter and stuff, it immediately took me back to a year ago when I was, in her shoes and losing a parent at a young age. I mean, losing a parent at any age is awful, but in your early 20s, it's just something that you feel, I mean, when it happens to you, at least when it happened to me, I just felt really resentful and kind of angry, like, I'm in my early 20s, like, my parents should still be here, this makes no sense. And so I just wanted to make this video because I know in the moment, it feels like you're never gonna be okay ever again, and like things will never be okay, and for a while they aren't okay, but eventually you learn to live with it, I guess. So I'm just gonna tell you guys how I'm doing today with the grief, and hopefully this will help someone, especially someone who has recently lost a loved one, especially a parent. Just realize that it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. So when I first lost my dad, it was really weird, and I hate watching movies or any kind of like court related shows or whatever when people are judging the loved ones based on their reaction. Like, I watch a lot of like murder documentaries and stuff, and my biggest pet peeve is when they were like, well, so-and-so wasn't crying, or so-and-so was crying too much, or so-and-so didn't seem upset enough when they heard that their loved one passed away, so they must be the murderer. But you never know how you're going to react in that situation. You just honestly don't. And when I first heard that my dad passed away, I don't know if I've ever told this story, but my cell phone rang and rang, and I looked at it, and it said dad on there, and it was early in the morning. It was a Sunday, I believe, and I had a Sunday matinee show, and so I was trying to sleep in a little bit before my show because I'd been out late the last night, and my phone was ringing, and it was dad, and so I, clicked ignore. I tried to go back to sleep, and it rang again. It was dad, and I clicked ignore one more time, tried to roll over to go to sleep, and it called again, and I was like, okay, something is up. So I answered the phone. I was like, hey, what's up? And it was my dad's girlfriend, and she just said, I'm so sorry, sweetie, but your dad passed away today. And like, honestly, everything like stopped. I didn't cry. I just was like, there was no feeling. Like numb. I didn't really understand what people said when they were like, I felt numb to the situation, because I've never ever experienced that feeling before, but that's the best way that I can describe, like, first hearing about it was just like nothing. I didn't cry, I didn't feel angry, I didn't feel anything. And I think I just said to her, okay, okay, I'll call you back. And I think I hung up, and I went and I told my mom. I said, Dad died, and I still wasn't crying. It was just really weird. And then I kind of sat in my room for a little while, and then just started bawling my eyes out. And it was such an odd day. And just the way that you react to things, the way that I handled myself, I would have never thought that I could do that. But I ended up going to my show, my performance, my matinee show, and I got ready. I got my makeup on, got my costume on. I did the entire show fine. And then I drove home and I cried the whole way home, and, you know, booked my plane ticket out to Mexico and got everything ready to go and just like went. It was like, it was weird. It was like I was in this daze kind of, and I was just kind of going through the motions of what I would usually do, and it didn't really hit me until, you know, it's hard to explain. There were little moments throughout the next few weeks where it would hit me really strong, and then I would be okay, and then something else would hit me. Whenever my dad's girlfriend would call, I don't know why, but she kept calling me from his cell phone, and so his name would keep popping up on my phone, and that would like really just like, it would remind me about everything. And then, you know, I was okay on the plane ride and everything, and then going to his house and seeing, you know, his room and seeing my room and everything, and him not being there, that was like, I said I was not gonna cry in this video, but that was really hard too. And then, going through the funeral process and stuff like that, that was extremely hard because, I'm the only child. My parents were divorced, and he was not remarried, although his girlfriend, referred to herself as his wife, but they were not, married. So I was really in charge of everything, because I was his only child, his only family member, and so I was in charge of the funeral and all of that, and that was really just really difficult within itself because he didn't have any life insurance. His health was so poor that he, I mean, no one would offer him life insurance, and he didn't have anything put away, or, you know, there was nothing. There was no money for me to, you know, give him a burial and give him a funeral, which was another stressful thing. I think a lot of people don't want to think about the fact that, like, someday we're all gonna die. But I urge you, if you are a parent, you need to think about it, because as much as you don't want to think about it, as much as your children don't want to think about it, if you don't have anything in place, if you don't have a will, if you don't have life insurance, my dad didn't have a will, my dad didn't have life insurance, my dad didn't have anything for me prepared. It is the most stressful thing I think you'll ever go through. And so, if you have loved ones in your life, children, a family, anything, like, just please make a will. Please try to get life insurance, or at least have money stashed away for funeral expenses, because it's something that's going to happen to all of us, whether we like to think about it or not. And the fact of the matter is, funerals are expensive. I did the absolute cheapest funeral that I could. I had him cremated, which is what he wanted. I put him in the absolute cheapest urn they had, because I knew, that sounds horrible to say, like, put him in the cheapest thing, but, like, one, I didn't have the money. Two, I knew, and he had told me this over and over and over again throughout my entire life, like, don't spend ridiculous amounts of money on my funeral. Like, do not spend, you know, he just thought it was crazy that people would spend so much money on someone who, you know, isn't even there anymore, and they, you know, they don't know. And so I just felt, you know, really strong during the funeral process and making decisions and really standing up for myself and like, no, I'm not going to pay for this. And the funeral business is a business, so they do try to talk you into a lot of crap that you really don't need. And I think my dad was like right there by me the whole time, because I was just tough, and I was like, we're going to talk strictly business here and strictly numbers, and then we'll get into everything else, because I'm not going to make a rash decision because I'm emotional. And so I guess that would be my first tip, if this is even a tip video, I don't know what this is, would be to go in with a business sense if you can, because they will, as horrible as it is to think about it, they will try to get you to spend as much money as possible. And that's sick, but it's a business, and it's not a non-for-profit business, it's a for-profit business. So, you know, they're gonna try to sell you just like anything else. So just keep that in mind. I know it's hard. You don't want to request the least expensive thing for your loved one, because at least for me, I thought that showed that I didn't care or something. But I just always had my dad's voice in the back of my head, like, don't you dare. Like, he would have been pissed if I would have spent a ton of money on an urn or something. So there's that. I was fine during the funeral. I gave the eulogy, and I did not cry through the entire eulogy. I was really strong that day. And I find that for me, when the people around me are hurting, when people around me are crying, I will be strong for them, you know. And so there were so many people there, so many people crying, and I felt like, you know, I can't be a bumbling mess too. Like, I need to, you know, help these people feel better. So I don't know what came over me, but I was extremely strong that day and gave the eulogy, and it was funny and people laughed, and I think it really told like his life, how he would have wanted it told. And I was really proud of myself, and I think he really would have loved it and loved the funeral. We requested that like nobody wear black. We played a lot of like Earth, Wind and Fire, and like all of his favorite bands played. And when the family walked in, I was just me, my mom, and my grandma, my dad's mom. When we walked in, usually they play like a sad, somber song, but we played Happy by Pharrell, because he loved that song, and it was just a really good celebration, and that's what he wanted. And so I was really happy that I was able to do that. The church, this big church in New Mexico, like graciously donated their chapel to have his funeral in. And he was friends with a lot of pastors, so, you know, they performed the funeral for free, and it was really great, and I was really glad that I you know, got to do everything like that. When I came back home, everything was okay for a while. It's weird. Once in a while, it'll just hit you, or at least it hits me, that like, he's not here anymore. Like, something will happen, something funny will happen, or something cool will happen to me, and I'll grab my phone and think like, oh, I need to tell Dad, and then it's just like that sinking feeling, like, you know, you can't tell him, or you'll wake up and there'll be that like half a second of like happiness, and then your memory kicks in, and you're like, oh yeah, no, like that actually happened, he's not here. And so, do I cry every day? No. Do I cry every week? No. Do I cry every month? Probably, probably. I probably still cry once a month. And it'll be random things. It'll be a song will come on that will totally remind me of him, or I'll see something in a store that will remind me of him, or you know, it'll be my birthday or his birthday or holidays, and all of those bring up emotions. But you know, when this first happened, I was numb, and then, you know, not so okay, and then numb again, and, you know, all these different feelings. But I never thought that I would be able to talk about him without crying. I never thought that I would be able to ever feel normal again. I just didn't know what life was going to be like without him. And it's okay. It is okay. I miss him a lot. I miss him more than anything. But it doesn't get easier with time. I think with time, you just kind of come to terms with it a little bit more, and you kind of get used to your life, this new way of life. It's never going to be the same again, but you will be okay again, and you will be able to remember all of the good times, and the sadness won't come as often. It'll still be there, but it won't come as often, and you'll be okay. And I guess that's my 1 year update. I feel good. I feel confident that my dad is with me, and that he is in an amazing place. And I feel happy when I talk about him. I might still get teary, but you know, now I think about him, and I think about just the great times we had together. And I can think about him and laugh and be happy. And in the beginning, I couldn't do that. In the beginning, it was just all kind of negative, bad emotions. So if you've recently lost a loved one, know that any emotion you're feeling, whether it be extreme sadness or anger or numbness or confusion or denial or whatever it is 100% valid. It is 100% okay to feel what you're feeling, and just feel it and go through the emotions, and don't try to hold them back or bury them. Just feel them, and know that you're going to be okay. Things won't be like they were, but you will find a new normal, and you will be okay, I promise. If you need anybody to talk to, I am always here. I'm really bad at replying to messages on Facebook. If you've tried to message me on there, you know. But if you email me, I will always do my best to reply to you. And just know that everything is going to be okay. I know it's hard to believe, and I didn't believe it, but they are, and they will be. So thank you guys so much. I love you, and I will talk to you in my next video. Bye.